as it'll be Cherry and Nisbet bringing them down. First of two Coca-Cola Charger feature races here tonight. As John Shelton going to give him the green flag here, and the Coca-Cola Charger feature race number 1 is underway. Paul Gibson going to waste no time as he's going to try to push 3 wide down the wild side and into Calamity Corner. Sean Jones getting a nose in as well. As Paul Gibson going to take lap number 1. Caston Jones trying to get the cars out of the way as he's looking to chase, as he's going to make contact with Lauren Burr in the 11. As Gibson pulling away in the 44. Here comes Caston Jones as he's going to try the bottom. Working the inside, and Nick Cherry's number 27 sliding up just a bit. That's going to open the door for Lauren Burr to jump to the inside in the 11 as they're 3 wide into turn number 1. Caston pushing up again as Lauren Burr going to pick off 2 birds with 1 stone. As Poindexter having problems coming off turn number 2, he'll keep it going. But out front, Paul Gibson pulling away in the 44. Lauren Burr working the inside of Jimmy Poindexter for second, as she finished second last week in the Coca-Cola Charger feature race. And she'll try to reel in Paul Gibson's number 44. As Jesse Poindexter going to pull it off in the 7 car. Seven to go for Paul Gibson. Lauren Burr trying to reel him in, as Gibson stumbled to the line last week and almost lost the win to Lauren. As she is closing the distance quickly in that 11 car. Now only about 4 car lengths behind. She's definitely got the momentum down the straightaways. She's now closed that distance in half to about a 1 car advantage now. As she's now applying pressure to Paul Gibson's number 44. As she's going to peek to the outside this time through 3 and 4. She's got the momentum through the center of the corner. Gibson picking up just a little bit through 1 and 2 that time by Lauren, closing the gap again into 3 and 4. As it's going to be 3 to go for Paul Gibson in the 44. Lauren Burr applying the pressure in the 11. Gibson seems to have the advantage through 1 and 2. Lauren has the advantage through 3 and 4. 2 to go for the Coca-Cola Chargers. Lauren Burr peeking to the outside in the 11. The lap car, Sean Coverdale, will probably come into effect. As Lauren once again trying to get to the outside. Gibson looking to shut the door in the 44. As the white flag going to be coming out for Paul Gibson. Lauren Burr going to try the crossover move. Gibson has to get out of the way of the lap car. Gibson pushing up the track. Lauren Burr working the inside, side by side down the straightaway. Gibson, Lauren Burr by a nose. Lauren Burr gets her first ever feature at the high banks of the I-44 Speedway in a photo finish as her and Gibson went down to the wire. Gibson trying to cut her momentum with a little bit of side drafting. I don't think Lauren knows she got it in the 11. What a race here to kick off the night as Lauren Burr getting her first ever feature here at the high banks of the I-44 Speedway. And that'll be setting the tone for the night.
Well, that's the best finish we've had in quite some time here at coming at I-44 Speedway. Lauren Burr breaking through the pack out of nowhere. Won her heat race. Looked fast then. Commented to Josh that she might be able to get a top 3 finish tonight. To heck with a top 3 finish. She wanted the whole enchilada and she got it. She needed every single inch of those 12 laps. And she used every single inch of those 12 laps. That's the first time I've ever seen a driver not know they won the race. She's so eager to get into victory lane, zoomed through her victory lap. Drove the wheels off of that machine, closing the gap on the points leader. She gets the feature win. Checkered flag, a little bit muted. Wants the family down here. Come on over here, Lauren. We're going to get a word before the family gets in here. All right. Tell me what was going on there. You got up to second, then all of a sudden you just started chasing Paul Jepson down.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was going to get him or not, but I did. So.
What was going on there in the last lap? Did you know that you had won the race? It seemed like you were pulling off into the pits.
Yeah, I didn't know I won. I figured he beat me by, another foot again.
You got any sponsors?
Okay. I'd like to thank my sponsors, Burr's Auto Body, Ron's Towing, Auto Body Supply.
What are your plans here for the second race? You still got a second race to go here. You're going to start 3 wide. Are you going to try and make a sweep tonight?
Yes, I am. I'm going to try and win that one, too.
There you have it. Lauren Burr going to try and get the sleep. Very quiet and reserved in victory. She gets $25 from Waffle House. Good food, fast and friendly. She's going to be celebrating tonight. She's got the family down there. She's more eager to see the family more than anything. That was the first time for a lot of things. Quietest driver in victory lane. First time a victor I've ever seen. Didn't know they'd won. And by the way, that's our second female victor this year. Lauren Burr putting one up for the ladies.
Facing the 36 out of Stratford. Little JC going to be in the 15 out of Statland. His outside is going to be the Gentle Giant JC Newell in the 84. Randy Besser is going to be in the 21 out of Branson. Following him out, Raging Robert Reeves getting the heat race victory earlier tonight in the 6 car. Ben Newell moving up in the A1 as well, and Chuck Higdon going to round out the field in the 63. Car, as it'll be Higdon and Newell bringing them down up front. As John Higdon bring him down in the 36, a little bit of checkup on that inside line. As the Gentle Giant JC Newell going to jump to the lead in the 84. Little JC working the inside of John Higdon's 36. Raging Robert Reeves right there as well in the 6 car. As Little JC now occupies the 2nd position, Raging Robert going to move up in the 6th as well. Here comes Randy Besser in the 21, working the inside of John Higdon's 36. As he's going to look to take the 4th position away. Raging Robert Reeves now going to try to get to the back bumper of Little JC's number 15, as they're both reeling in the leader, the Gentle Giant JC Newell in the 84. Raging Robert Reeves now going to try to peek to the inside. Little JC going to shut the door in the 15. The Gentle Giant still out in front. Reeves going to figure if he can't try the inside, he'll swing it out to the outside and try to get a run down the wild side. And into 3 and 4s, he's going to get to the outside of Little JC's number 15. Little JC going to shut the door at the line. trying that high line every time he gets the momentum. Little JC's there to cut him off. As they've now caught the Gentle Giant JC Newell in the 84. Here comes Raging Robert Reeves with another run on the outside. And Little JC holding him off. Out in front, the Gentle Giant going to have 7 to go. As Robert Reeves gets a little bit better of a run that time down the front straightaway and through turns 1 and 2. As the battle for second still heating up, the lap cars coming up as they'll be coming into play soon as well. Little JC all over the back bumper of Grandpa's number 84. The lap cars of Ben Newell and Chuck Higdon now coming into play here. Is Little JC going to loop it around on the bottom? And that'll bring out the yellow. And there's some contact between JC and Reeves coming off turn number 2. So Little JC with the solo spin at the bottom of turn number 3. Don't see that very often. As that'll have the Gentle Giant JC Newell's going to be setting the pace. Robert Reeves second. That'll move Randy Besser up to third in the 21 machine. John Higdon going to be in the 36 as he'll be in fourth. And then Ben Newell will move into the 5th spot. Gentle Giant going to be bringing him down. Green flag coming out. The Hardy Sportsman back underway. Little JC all over the back bumper of John Higdon's 36. Problems with Randy Besser's 21, as it looks as though he's pulling it off to the pits. Raging Robert Reeves working the inside as they're going to battle for the lead. And at the stripe, Raging Robert Reeves, the new race leader. Little JC getting around John Higdon's 36 as he now moves into the 3rd position. JC loose through turns 3 and 4 as he'll lose even more ground on the 6 of Raging Robert Reeves. As it's going to be 2 to go for Raging Robert Reeves in the 6 out of Camdenton. The Gentle Giant still giving chase, but the little JC holding on to 3rd in the 15. As the white flag coming out for Raging Robert Reeves. Coming through turns 3 and 4, tally up another one for the Reeves clan as Raging Robert Reeves going to be going to the Monster Energy victory lane in the Hardy Sportsman tonight. The Gentle Giant JC Newell second, Little JC third, John Higdon fourth, Ben Newell 5th, and Chuck Higdon will round out the field in the 63.
The Reeves clan has certainly been Lebanon I-44 Speedway's version of the royal family this season, if you will. Dustin leading the point standing, and the Hoosier Tire Road Warriors, they have a brief one-week hiatus. The week is off. They're not on the program tonight, but he has 9 feature wins. Father Robert just notched his 7th feature win of the season, getting around the elder JC Newell, collecting that checkered flag right now as we speak. He's going to flip it around and take it out for the Polish-style victory lap, paying homage to Alan Kowicki. That fluorescent green number 6 has seen the confines of victory lane many times this season. Robert Reeves should have this victory lap celebration down just about pat. I wonder if him and Dustin rehearsed at home or something. Budweiser outside, let him hear it. Hardy Sportsman. Straps, take off that helmet. We'll catch a word here with Robert Reeves. Puts on his victory, and there he is, your Hardy Sportsman winner. Robert Reeves emerges victorious. This week, I know how many wins that is. That's 7 for you, buddy. Lucky number 7. Tell me what you had to do to get it.
Hey, this car is just on a rail tonight. I can't thank TJR enough. I mean, Real Boy Racing Engines, I mean, this thing is a rocket. To pass JC Newell on the high side, I mean, that's a, you know, he's so fast anyway, so I thought I'll try him up here on the high side and see how it worked out. Man, our car went right up there and just went to town, so, hey, thanks to TJR, we got a win here tonight.
Tell me what you got to do the rest of the way to keep notching these wins, because it seems like, you know, you've gotten 2 in a row here. Little JC's probably going to bounce back next week with a new setup or something. It seems like every time you're getting out there and getting a win streak going, he bounces back with some sort of new setup and, you know, answers right back.
Hey, we just keep plugging. I mean, really, we don't work on the car a lot. I mean, we got it set up pretty good right now, and we minimal work on it right now. I mean, when it's this good, we don't touch it. I mean, so we're just going to leave it like it is till someone comes up and challenges us, then we'll go back and start doing something different. A1 Bugman, Rubel Racing, TJR Racing, the guys in the pits with me, Benny, Chris Shoemaker, Dustin, I couldn't do without you guys. Thank you. My wife, my kids, thank you.
Robert Reeves taking home $25 from Waffle House. Good food, fast and friendly. He's going to get to celebrate with the entire family. You know, he might not be in that points chase this season, but I think Robert Reeves has probably been the most dominant driver in this division. He took a brief 2-week hiatus in May. Ever since he's come back, it's been like he's had revived energy or something like that. He's just rejuvenated out there on the track. 7 wins. Just been rolling around that track. Like he said, his car has been a rail. On a rail, a total rocket.
Johnson going to be setting the pace in that 00 as he won his heat race earlier. The Iceman, Ricky Eisenhower, going to be on the outside of the front row. It's good to see J.D. Kelly back out of Walnut Grove in the 51 to his outside. Rocky Rash in the 1 out of Elkland. The kid, Peyton Lucas, going to be car number 26 to his outside. The young gun, Stephen Counterman, in car number 25. And then rounding out the field to be the Nixon Nightmare, Tyler Scott, in car number 57. This time by with Johnson and Eisenhower bringing them down. Green flag coming out for the Budweiser Modifieds. 3 wide at the starting line. No start there. J.D. Kelly jumping the gun just a little bit. This ain't the second Chargers feature. Not looking to start the Modifieds off 3 wide. Mr. Shelton gonna give him the rolled up green flag this time by, as we'll try it again. As will be Johnson and Eisenhower, your front row, Kelly and Rash in row 2. As they'll be making 20 trips around the high banks of the I-44 Speedway. Green flag coming out for the Budweiser Modifieds. Looks like a good start this time by, as the Iceman gonna waste no time in the 7. Counterman with some problems in the 25. As he's had all night, but out front, the Iceman, Ricky Eisenhower, off out to the early advantage. Counterman pulling it to the pits. Rocky Rash occupies the 2nd position. J.D. Kelly trying to work the outside of Chris Johnson's 00. Rocky Rash pushing up the track just a bit in the 1. As Johnson loose off turn number 4. And loose into 1 is... He'll keep it going in the 00, but he'll drop all the way back to tailback. Tyler Scott moving up in the 57 as he's looking to challenge Rocky Rash for 2nd.
And Tyler Scott will now occupy the second position at the stripe. The Iceman, Ricky Eisenhower, dominating here in the 7. We'll see if Tyler Scott can close the gap just a bit in the 57, as he'll have 15 laps to get it done. As it'll be single file setting in for the modifieds here. And Chris Johnson going to loop it around in the 00, and that'll bring out our first yellow in the Budweiser modified feature race here. As pace picking up off turn 4, green flag in the air, the Budweiser modifieds back underway. J.D. Kelly trying to work the inside of Rocky Rash's number 1 for third. As they're going to go side by side through Calamity Corner, Kelly gets loose on the bottom. Rocky Rash going to hold him off at the line. Lucas looking to get in the mix in the 26 car as well. As Lucas is going to try to get his nose in on J.D. Kelly's number 51. Calamity Corner in the 51 modified, as they're going to get the halfway to go sign this time by. As the kid Peyton Lucas looking to move into that third spot as he's challenging the inside of Rocky Rash's number 1. As he'll take that advantage away, J.D. Kelly looking to do the same as he's looking to get around Rocky Rash. And Rash will move back to the 5th spot. Single file racing for the Budweiser modifieds, as the Iceman, Ricky Eisenhower, going to have 6 to go. Chris Johnson loose into 1 again as he's going to keep the car going this time. Ricky Eisenhower, guest on the Kickin' Asphalt radio show a couple weeks back, and also the 92 Sunbelt Regional Champion. As it'll be 3 to go for the Iceman. White flag coming out for Ricky Eisenhower in the number 7 out of Fairgrove. Tyler Scott laying back now in the 57. And checker flag coming out for Ricky Eisenhower out of Fairgrove in the car number 7. Tyler Scott going to idle it down into second in the 57. Peyton Lucas with a good finish in third in the 26 machine. J.D. Kelly fourth. Rocky Rash will round out the top five. As the Iceman, Ricky Eisenhower going to pick up his second feature victory on the 2012 season.
We've got an impromptu checkered flag waving down here as Ricky Eisenhower gets a checkered flag of his own. And he just drove right away from him after that restart with 14 laps to go. Got a checkered flag backdrop on this number 7 Budweiser Modified. He's in victory lane tonight. Your Budweiser Modified victor, Ricky Eisenhower. Come on over here, Ricky. Man, I can feel the heat emitting from these tires. You were on a rail tonight, bud.
Oh yeah, the car was that's one of the better cars I've had in a long time. That guys just keep working on it. We get a little bit better every week, and man, I think anybody could have put that one up here. It was just really, really sweet.
You had it on cruise control at the start there. You got away to a straightaway finish. Then the caution flag comes. Tell me what you're thinking there. Tyler Scott pulling right up next to you.
Well, obviously Tyler's had a lot of success down here the last couple of years. And we made some changes this winter, and wanted to, he was the one we were shooting for this winter, obviously. And we got off to a rough start with some mechanical failures, but we felt like we had, he was the one that was going to, him and David would definitely be the two to race with, and I think we've got something for him.
It seems like the light has come on. When you're getting to the finish line, like you said, you're not suffering from these mechanical gremlins, if you will. You're right there, Ricky. What do you got to do the rest of the way to get up there and grab some more feature wins?
Well, obviously tonight we got to, sometimes you get luck of the draw and you start up towards the front, and sometimes you get to start, you start in the back. And
I don't think starting up near the front had anything to do with it tonight. You were so fast.
Well, next week, we'll be back next week, and we'll see what we can do then, because we'll be in the back. And but I think we've got a good car and make it pretty racy. Obviously, sponsors also got ABC Garage Doors, and then Premier Automotive, and my kids and my little nephews down here with us this evening. So I'm sure glad they could come down and enjoy this with us.
A family affair in victory lane. Ricky Eisenhower going home with $25 from Waffle House. Good food, fast and friendly. That man was a rocket tonight. The Iceman cometh. He might be ice cold, but he was hot tonight.
He was the green flag next time by for 30 laps with the O'Reilly Auto Parts ASA late models. As Tucker Corey going to be bringing him down. Mike Sloan winning his heat race earlier in the night. Looking to turn his luck around as the pace picking up off turns 3 and 4. Green flag in the air. The ASA O'Reilly Auto Parts late models are underway. Jim Reeves going to jump to the early advantage in the 18. As we're going to go 3 wide down the wild side. Pee-wee not even on the track in the 10 as it's Sloan. Going to try to get the advantage at the line. And Sloan will take the second position. Grant Sharp side by side with Ken Dickinson in the 21. Jim and Jimmy moving into 4th as he's going to get around Pee-wee's number 10. Matt Wallace back in the pack trying to work around El Diablo and Grant Sharp in the 2. As Mike Sloan now catching the leader, Jim Reeves in the 18, as Sloan's going to challenge for the lead as he's going to peek to the inside and take the position away with ease. Jam and Jimmy trying to get a bumper to Tucker Corey as they're looking to battle for 3rd. Sloan still all alone out in front. Jim Reeves holding on to 2nd. Dickinson looking to challenge Pee-wee for 5th. Wallace trying to get to the inside of Brian Brown for 7th. As the battle
battle on the track right now is going to be for 5th as Ken Dickinson now reeling in Pee Wee. As he's going to try to get a back bumper to him off turn number 4. Matt Wallace now to the inside of Brian Brown in the 02s. They're going to go side by side down the wild side. Wallace loose off turn number 4. But they're going to keep it green and clean. Tucker Corey now reeling in Jim Reeves in the 18 as Dickinson going to get the back bumper to Pee Wee, letting him know he's there. All over the back bumper down the front straightaway. Tucker Corey having a really good run in the 9 as he's looking to challenge Jim Reeves for 2nd as they're looking to go side by side down the wild side. As Corey working the inside, Reeves holding his line through the middle. Reeves going to hold him off at the line. And contact there. Tucker Corey going around in the 9. He'll collect Pee Wee in the 10. As Pee Wee driving the doors off of it. Steve Holt looks as though he's limping to the pits in the 35. As the green flag coming out here. Don't think Brian Brown noticed we were going green. As Jammin' Jimmy all over the back bumper of Jim Reeves for 2nd. Ken Dickinson peeking to the outside of Pee Wee for 4th. As Dickinson now working the inside of Pee Wee as he's going to look to take the 4th spot away, and he'll now set his sights on Jammin' Jimmy in the 67. Flash Grant Sharp working the inside of Tyler Scotting, the car number 54. As Steve Holt going to pull up with some problems in the 35. As they'll get the halfway sign this time by, so that's 15 down, 15 to go. Jammin' Jimmy going to drive it in hard in the 67 as he's going to challenge Reeves for 2nd. As they're going to go side by side down the wild side and into Calamity Corner. Jammin' Jimmy getting loose on the bottom. That'll draw contact with Reeves. Reeves hard in the wall. Steve Holt going to get out of, or Tyler Scott with a heads-up move to dodge it with heavy damage to Jim Reeves, number 18. As that car is not going to be finishing the night with the tire completely tucked under. As Jammin' Jimmy got loose, made contact, pushed Reeves up into the wall. Race will resume this time by as Wallace Mike Sloan going to be setting the pace. Jammin' Jimmy Van Zandt 2nd, Dickinson 3rd, Pee Wee Jr., Dale Roper Jr. 4th, and Grant Sharp will round out the top 5 as the green flag back out for the O'Reilly Auto Parts ASA late models. And Ken Dickinson working the inside of Jammin' Jimmy's number 67 as they're going to go side by side down the wild side. Jammin' Jimmy trying to shut the door, not going to be enough as Dickinson going to try to get the advantage at the stripe. But Jammin' Jimmy powering through as he'll keep the advantage. As it's still good side-by-side battle for 2nd. El Diablo Brian Brown working around the inside of Matt Wallace's number 6 as he'll now set his sights on the 54 Tyler Scott. And Dickinson with another run down the wild side in the 21 machine. And Jammin' Jimmy once again with the momentum off the top side. Jammin' Jimmy gets loose through turn number 2. That'll open up the door just a little bit more for Dickinson. As he'll have the advantage this time by as he'll take over the 2nd spot, moving Jammin' Jimmy to 3rd. Matt Wallace trying to get around the slower car of Tyler Scott in the 54, but it looks as though Wallace's machine's starting to get a little loose. As Rawlins Mike Sloan all alone out in front in the 77. Grant Sharp looking to get a back bumper to Pee Wee's number 10. Matt Wallace now fading back in the 6 as Steve Holt going to look to go around to the inside in the 35. Sharp now trying to bounce to the inside of Pee Wee's number 10. As it's going to be 5 to go for Rawlins Mike Sloan in the 77. Dickinson safely holding on to second. Jam and Jimmy third. Battle for fourth still there with Dale Roper Jr. and Grant Sharp in the 2. As Sharp now trying to apply the back bumper to Pee Wee's number 10. As Sharp going to try to get a run into 1 this time by. Rawlins Mike Sloan moving around the lap car of Matt Wallace's number 6. As Rawlins Mike Sloan coming to the white flag here in the 77 as he's got 1 more lap to go. Battle for fourth heating up with Pee Wee, Sharp, and Brown. But coming to the checkers through 3 and 4. Rawlins Mike Sloan back on top into the I-44 Speedway. Sharp and Roper Jr. battling to the finish for fourth as Pee Wee will have the advantage. Ken Dickinson finishing second, Jam and Jimmy third, Pee Wee fourth. Jam and Jimmy a little upset with Dickinson in the 21. Grant Sharp will finish fifth, Brian Brown sixth. And Tyler Scott will finish seventh, Steve Holt eighth. And Matt Wallace will round out the field in ninth.
Really the best car, went out there, dominant. Multiple restarts. Nobody could touch him tonight. He's the man to beat. He's still on top. Mike Sloan, your O'Reilly Auto Parts ASA late models winner. He is one pumped up hot shoe. Man. Getting that Gatorade. It's been a frustrating couple of months for you, buddy. Tell me about what you had to do to come out here and stop that tonight.
I needed some fuel pressure for one. The last 3 races I've had fuel pressure issues, and car's been real good, just motor wouldn't run.
You came out here tonight, and yeah, you certainly had fuel pressure. You had a lot of pressure. You put the pressure on the field. You had them all covered tonight.
Yeah, the car's real fast. It's got a new setup in it. Got to thank the guys at Port City, Johnny Von Dorm. You know, he put the setup in it, and Harley at Port City treated me real good. You know, we had to cut this car in half 3 weeks ago and put a new front end on it, so it's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it.
You know, Matt Wallace has been closing ever closer. Last week he edged him out by a few points, but he's been creeping back in the picture. You didn't really want a repeat of what happened last year. I think that goes without saying. This might just be enough to quash that momentum and kind of say, look out, young gun. I'm here to stay.
Yeah, I didn't points race last year. I was just kind of out here getting some laps in. I was more focusing on tour racing last year, but I set it with the intentions of winning it this year, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm really excited about the rest of the 2012 season here at I-44 Speedway. Yeah, I want to get my sponsors in there. John's Firestone out, West Chrysler Nissan, SS Motors, Cooking from Scratch, one of my main sponsors. Freedom Electric, I almost forget him every time, and he's actually one of my pit crew members. I should probably remember him. Southside Motors down in Emnitz, Missouri. Kevin Kreider Motorsports. Kevin Kreider's my crew chief. You know, I flip the wrenches on this car, but he tells me what to do, so he's the one that makes this bullet go around here.
There you have it. Mike Sloan, obviously relieved in the winner's circle, taking home $25 from Waffle House. This man was hard. He is sweating down there in Victory Lane. He might have worked, but he sure made it look easy tonight.